Okay, so that's Descartes. Okay, go on. You take it around me. The French have to be very tolerant about the people being tourists in this area, because this is Descartes, the place of the carts, but also the place where Descartes, the philosopher Renee Descartes, Renee, said, "Listen carefully, I shall say this only once. I think, therefore I am." Actually, he didn't say that here. This was more, actually, this is not the centre, I should have gone down the other way. I'll go around another roundabout and come back again. Because I don't know where I'm going really, and I didn't put my little helper up today on there, so the clip is empty. This is Rond-Point Georges Pompidou, and as ever the French roundabouts have got decorations in the middle like this windy miller here. There's Descartes. Kumrovec in Croatia is the twin city. Not that I know of any philosopher that comes from there. There may well be one, but I just don't know much about it. But Descartes was an interesting character. As I said before, not even just so much of the fact that he worked out that he existed because he could think. Now, I always used to say, I used to teach auditing in the past, and I used to think, okay, Descartes says, I think, therefore I am, but you can be completely thoughtless. The duck, exactly. Another one there, yeah. You can actually exist as a completely thoughtless person. But you can't be a thoughtless auditor, or if you are, then you're going to be heading for the law courts. You've got to be thinking and recording that you're thinking. So you would say this, as an auditor you would say, I think, therefore I audit. And the moment that I stop thinking, I stop auditing. Because auditing without thinking about the business, about what this or that transaction or lack of transaction means, or lack of evidence that a transaction might mean, then the minute you stop thinking about it, that's when you stop auditing. Whatever you might be doing as regards filling in tables, you're only auditing when you're actually thinking, in my opinion. But regulators say it's not enough to think. You've got to be able to demonstrate what your thinking was, and therefore you must be able to record. You must record everything. So therefore, people say, you know, these days that the regulators, the quality assurers, they say, I record, therefore I audit. And what better way is there of recording one's thinking and one's life than to film and to put the film up on YouTube? You can't do that obviously in an audit because it's kind of, you know, confidential what you audit, but you wouldn't dream of putting it up on YouTube. But nevertheless, when we come to think about what Descartes means today, you could actually say, I film, therefore I am. I make YouTube videos, therefore I can be seen in YouTube to exist. So Descartes for today can be reconstructed as, I film, therefore I am. And it's true, because what a person is made up after the time has gone by in which they've existed in that moment. It's only the memory of what happens afterwards. So the film is the memory, or it assists one's otherwise very weak memory, and gives you a perfect retention of exactly what these buildings are, exactly what the sounds were in the background, exactly what I said. I might remember just a tiny fraction of it. But the film enables complete recall of, well, the majority really, maybe 80% of the experience that was had at the time, and sharing with so many other people. So therefore, if you say I film, then, oh, I think that was a bit too far. I'm supposed to perhaps give more. Okay, this is a very difficult road to travel down actually, because Every 5 seconds somebody's coming down that you've got to give some way to. Now I've got to go up that way. This is Rue de Commerce. I don't know where the museum is, but I suppose the main one is straight on, isn't it, really? This is Rue Marceau, and this one going down this way I don't see the name of. But basically, Maison Musée Renee Descartes. So there we go. That is the house. Somehow I kind of automatically arrived at it. I have to move on now, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get out and get into it anyway. But that's Descartes' house. So people that have been in, there's Rue Balzac, people that have been in it seem to think that there's not an awful lot of stuff in there that would have been interested to anybody other than people who are really fans of philosophy. If you're a fan of philosophy and a big fan of Descartes, then by all means you can go to it. And see it. But for normal people it's enough to see the outside, apparently. Which is what we just saw. And it's literally, it's about 12 kilometers by the back route from where we're staying. I was thinking of actually walking it, but today we've got 37 degrees, and I can tell you that it was earlier about 39 degrees when I was planning to do it, and I just thought, well, that's a good way of killing yourself, actually, going for a 12-kilometer walk in 39 degrees, and I haven't finished with my life yet, so I decided not to do it. Okay, I'm going across there then. Toute direction. Toute. So there we are. If you want to see inside it, then you have to come here. You can follow the route which I showed you just before, although you know, you'll probably be able to work out for yourself pretty much how to get there. I just followed my nose. I didn't even have my thing, as you can see, and it went straight to the place, so not difficult. But Descartes, his message for today, if he was around today, he would be a YouTuber. He would have his own channel, and his message for the world would be, I film, therefore I am. Because it's all very well experiencing, but the second you've experienced something, you can't either share it in full, neither can you even remember it properly in the way that you could remember it if you had the help of a film. So filming is what you need to do in order to be, in this day and age, in the fullest technically possible sense of being. Therefore, my answer to Descartes saying, I think, therefore I am, is I film, therefore I am. Because, okay, you can still be even without filming in the same way as you can be without thinking. But if you want to experience being as a human being in the current age in the fullest sense, and communication with other human beings in the fullest sense. In today's internet, it's not enough to write a blog. It's not enough to think. You've got to have video. You've got to have video in there. It's all very well saying, okay, well, you know, I'm a radio person, I want to just do voice podcasts. It's not enough saying, oh, I'm a literary person, I just want to do a blog. You can do all of the, you know, WordPress. You can do all of those stuff. But video, that's the queen of the sciences as far as the internet's concerned. And YouTube is the site above all sites that's enabled people to get the camera in their hand and go with it wherever they go, and have really strong memories. The only thing that, you know, you've got the sight, you've got the sounds. All that I can't give you is the tastes and the smells. I can only describe them, but then all those other means of recording or talking or discussing, they don't give it either. So the closest to a full capture of the moment and eternalizing of even the most banal moments in a person's life that may have a greater or a lesser significance as seen by that person later on, the people that he shares it with, whether they're people that know him or that only incidentally know him a little bit through the medium. Those are the things which, you know, only film really offers. So therefore I film, therefore I am. That's the message that I come away from Descartes' hometown, that he spent the age, I think it was from 5 to 15 of his life, his formative years. Had he had a camera, of course, we'd know an awful lot more about him, and there'd certainly be an awful lot more than you could hold in a single little house there, a few handful of exhibits known about him, had he in that time had the technology that we have today. Maybe some people think we've got too much. Maybe the, you know, films are being made by people that will never be watched. Maybe in the future people might laugh at the details that we decided that we were going to immortalize. But actually this is life. This is normal life the way it's lived today. And we don't have enough of that about the people that lived before us. So I say, never fear, go ahead, take the film. Then you will still be when you are not. I film, therefore I am.